Howdy, neighbor. It's Rob here with this week's edition of Golden Rules and continuing our series of how to buy a home. This series is predominantly intended for first-time home buyers, people that have not been in the process. Hopefully this is going to demystify the process for you. Or it could also be for, for people that have lived in their home for decades and maybe they had forgotten about the home buying process and maybe things have changed a little bit since they bought their home. So if it is helpful, please do leave me a comment down below. I'd be thrilled to hear about how this has helped you. And, or if your process is maybe a little bit different, I'd love to hear that as well. So let's get going and get started here with step number 4. Hopefully by now you have spoken to a loan officer. You have decided what type of home that you are ready to purchase. You've also spoken to a realtor, and that realtor has sat down and had a buyer consultation with you to make sure you understand every step of the process. And you have a good feeling that this is a competent industry professional who is full-time and looking out for your best interests. So now what? Well, you get to tour homes. Trust me, this is the fun part of the process. Relax and enjoy it, okay? You're actually getting to go out and look at other people's homes, and that should be a fun experience. Experience different styles of homes, different sizes of homes. Try on different homes for size. Put them on around you and say, well, do I really need a 4-bedroom? Do I need a 3-bedroom with a study? Am I okay with both? I thought I didn't want a 2-story home, but now I'm finding out that, maybe I can get more bang for my buck by going with a 2-story. Or, I really had my heart set on having a pool, but now I've realized that, maybe there's a lot of maintenance that I hadn't thought about. And so maybe that's something that I don't want to do. So don't be anxious in the process. Really enjoy it. Ask a lot of questions. Feel good about the process. And then when you find the home that you think is the one, right? Be ready and be aggressive. By now, you should have already gotten your pre-approval letter. You should already know how the process is supposed to go. So when you find that home that you like, tell your realtor, I want to go make an offer on it, okay? There's a saying in real estate. If you go home and you think about the home you just saw, somebody saw that same home yesterday and they thought about it last night and they're writing an offer today. Don't be the person that says, I'll think about it, and then you go home and it turns out it was the home of your dreams and now it's under contract to somebody else. So move quickly once you find the one. Be aggressive, right? Hopefully in your buyer consultation, your realtor has told you, okay, over the last 3 months, homes in this neighborhood have been selling for 97%. Now is not the time to go in and say, I'll give you 80% of your list price. That's not going to fly. And you're just going to insult the seller and you're not going to be able to get the home. So if a realtor tells you, hey, it's a soft market, you can get away with offering less, great, nibble around the edges. But if it's a market like what we had in the first half of 2022 and it's super hot, well, you know what? You might have to offer 105, maybe even 110% of the asking price in order to get that particular home. That's what we saw during that time. It was a unique market, and boy, I'm glad we're not in it anymore. Now, once you do get once you've decided on the home and you've decided that you're going to write an offer, understand that you are going to have to write, in Texas, you're going to have to write 2 checks right away. One is for earnest money, and one is for what is called the option fee. And I'll explain the uses of both of those. The earnest money is usually an amount that is somewhere between 1 and 5% of the purchase price of the home. So if you're buying a $225,000 home, you probably should put down about $2,200 in earnest money. And what this does, this is held by the title company, and it is proof of your intention to buy the home. You're not sending to the seller this offer that's just a wish and a prayer. You actually have some money to back it up. And the title company is going to cash that check. So you have to make sure that you have this money in your account, but then they will hold it in escrow between the two parties until either the transaction happens, in which case that earnest money goes towards the purchase price of the home, or if the contract terminates, then there are circumstances where you could get that earnest money back, and there are circumstances where that earnest money would go to the seller. So you definitely want to make sure that you're clear on the things that could happen with that earnest money. But yeah, you're probably going to be writing a check of at least a few $1,000s that someone's going to be holding for 30, 45 days while you're going through the process of getting your loan, doing your inspections, all those kinds of things before you eventually close on the home. But again, that earnest money does go towards, if you do end up buying the home, that earnest money does end up going towards the purchase price of the home. Now, the other check is what's called the option fee. And that option fee in Texas, we have what's called a termination option. And in your contract, you're going to negotiate an option period. Usually that timeline is anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. Most commonly, you'll see 10 days. That is, during the option period, you buy from the seller the unrestricted right to terminate the contract and get your earnest money back. Okay, so usually this is going to be a fee that you write to the seller. It will be approximately $200, $250, something like that. But it will also be held in Texas by the title company. It will go to the title company. And then what will happen is, if during the option period, let's say you do your inspections and the house turns out to be a wreck and more than what you want to get involved in, you can absolutely terminate the contract during that option period. The option fee will go to the seller. That's their consideration for having taken the home off the market while you did your due diligence. The earnest money will be refunded back to you. Now, if you get past the option period and you terminate the contract, depending on the contract, there may still be an opportunity for you to get your earnest money back. But it kind of depends. Depends on whether it's tied to the loan. It depends on, there are certain other things that the seller might have needed to do for you that maybe they didn't do. And so if you terminate before they do those things, and sometimes you can get your earnest money back as well. So the contract will really detail when your drop dead date is on your earnest money. So those are kind of the things to know right up front. Go look at your homes, fall in love, have a realtor, be your emotional rock. Then as you're going through the contract process, be aggressive, make sure that your offer is within the range of the market, and then just know that you're going to have a few $1,000s in the bank to write the earnest money and option fee check, all of which, if you buy the home, will be credited toward the purchase price of the home. Hopefully this is helpful for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.